Welcome back to the Cave of Wonders, Dreamwalkers. I am your Sith Lord Callous for Lord Callous TV, and this is another Rancorous recap and review. Clone Force 99 is headed to Raxis in episode 10 of the Bad Batch entitled Common Ground. There are only 6 episodes left in the season, so let's talk about it. She survived her encounter with Cad Bane and Fennec Shand, and now Omega is back with the Batch where she belongs. The group is back on Ord Mantell sharing some Mantell mix and trying to figure out how to avoid the bounty hunters that will no doubt continue their pursuit for Omega. The team wants to lay low, but Sid has other plans. And with their debt to the Trandoshans still hanging over their head, the clones have little choice but to accept another mission. A simple extraction on Raxis should be easy enough, but the Mark is a former Separatist senator, and Echo is less than pleased about this information. Now, unlike the previous episodes that seemed to showcase Imperial-occupied planets in a positive light, Common Ground reveals what happens to the former Separatist planets that refuse Imperial rule. On Raxis, the Imperial Captain Bragg and her occupying forces address the public in the capital city, Raxalon. She assures the citizens that the Empire will treat them fairly if they comply with Imperial rule. To that end, Raxis Senator Avi Singe agreed to the occupation to keep his people safe. But he has a change of heart before making a speech of compliance, and instead orders his people to resist the Empire's unjust occupation. He's arrested, and Captain Bragg orders the Imperials to move in and secure the city. Meanwhile, Hunter is reluctant to bring Omega along on a mission to an Imperial-occupied planet, and instead chooses to leave her at base with Sid. Not that he trusts Sid any more than he does the Imperials, but she is motivated by credits, and it would be in her best interest for the Bad Batch to go and return home safely with her payout. Now, this news upsets Omega, but good soldiers follow orders, so she agrees, begrudgingly. When the Bad Batch finally arrive on Raxis and rendezvous with their contact, they find their client to be Avi's protocol droid, GS-8, and Echo continues to be suspicious of the mission considering all that has happened to him at the hands of the Separatists during the Clone Wars. But the team pushes forward, making their way past the clone troopers patrolling the streets. They split up, and after taking down the compound surveillance system, Hunter and Tech, with GS-8, eventually find Singe under house arrest inside of one of his rooms. Just in time, too, because Captain Bragg is just about to use that all-too-familiar interrogation droid on the Senator. Clone Force 99 stuns the Imperial officer and her troopers, and they make their way for the exit, but not before they trigger an alarm alerting the Empire of their position. The Batch regroup to gain control of an Imperial walker, and a battle of the tanks ensues. But Avi knows the city and directs the clones down an alley, blasting a hole in a wall to reveal a secret subterranean passage out of the city. Wrecker is more than happy to make the wall go boom, and then again to cover their tracks, preventing the Empire from following them inside. The team finally makes their way to the Havoc Marauder, and Avi suddenly has doubts. He's conflicted, feeling as if he's abandoning his people to save himself. But GS-8 wisely points out that he must survive if he's going to have any chance of freeing the people of Raxis from Imperial rule. Now, they escape the planet and return to Ord Mantell, where Omega and Sid have found their own common ground. Omega confesses to being an exceptional strategist, and Sid uses her abilities to her advantage, to make some money gambling with patrons. But this arrangement is advantageous for the clone and the scoundrel as they partner up for a few games of Dejarik. Omega takes a 60% split of the winnings, which is enough to pay off the entire debt for Clone Force 99. Hunter and Omega share a moment, and that's where this story ends. Now, I enjoyed this episode for what it was and expected them to slow things down a bit after the previous 3 episodes with Rex, Cad Bane, and Fennec Shand. They gave us a better description of Omega's abilities, though we already knew that she seemed to have a heightened sense of perception. Now we know that that ability lends itself to her strategic mind. So I wonder how that will serve her in episodes to come. Maybe an exploit for Fennec Shand or manipulation from her big brother Boba. Only 6 episodes remain in this first season, so we have to be closing in on the climactic event. And you guys let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think we'll see Boba in the first season? Will Omega remain with the Batch or perhaps go on to serve herself? And if you're new here to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button. Then turn on notifications so you can join the Dreamwalkers on our galactic YouTube journey. Now I'd like to thank my channel members as they've grown. Rhodes Rants, John Matrix, Biggles Metz, Callisto, Arcus, Keaton Haas, Drunk 3PO, thank you for setting it off. Ord's Board, RC from the NYC, Rob Heaston, Daryl the Derelict, and Lord Vito. Thank you so much for your continued support. Always remember that peace is a lie. There is only passion. Through passion I gain strength, and through strength I gain power. Through power I gain victory, and through victory my chains are broken. The Force shall free me. That is why I do what I love. And I hope you love what I do. This has been a rancorous recap and review. Until next time.